Crowder's joke here perfectly explains why the Republicans have such a stranglehold on rural voters today. Gutting the public education system over the years has eliminated a vital source for people to challenge the views they grew up with and make their own conclusions, combined with other social pressures like religion, anti-LGBTQ plus attitudes, and the crushing weight of economic factors like criminally low wages and no career prospects. It's not hard to see why people who think like this still exist.
You see all sorts of cool stuff at Trump rallies. Like there's a license plate that says God, family, country. And then on the side of it, it's got the Confederate flag. So I'm not sure which country they're talking about.
You know, people are always accusing Trump supporters of being violent or racist, but we're here at this Trump rally and I just don't see it.
They're trying to change what our children think in the schools.
What would you like to see happen?
I'd like to get back like it was in the 60s.
Before all the civil rights stuff?
Before all the civil rights stuff.
So you would like to see things go back to before the civil rights movement?
Oh, yes. Oh, yes. You know, where people have their freedom in this country.
Well, certain groups didn't have as much at the time, right?
Right. They didn't have as much at the time. But we still got to get back where this country stands up for this country.
It's important to note that all of this BS had to be learned from somewhere. And while it's certainly true that this guy and a lot more of the MAGA base may be beyond reason, that does not mean we should give up completely.
Nikki Haley never, because she took the Confederate flag down in the state.
And what about the Confederate flag coming down did you not like?
Because I sell the Confederate flag and the shirts, and I disagree with Haley. It's our history here in South Carolina.
Even if it upsets people in certain ways?
Yes, sir. History's history. You can't change it.
The biggest problem right at this point to me would be all these people coming in across the border.
What is the issue with the people coming across the border? Are you afraid of them?
I don't know who they are. And now they keep showing that the ones that are coming are all the age of young men who could fight. So do we want an army against our army?
So, but isn't there an effort underway to try to figure out who these people are?
No, I don't think there is any effort whatsoever. I think he's just allowed everybody to come in. Nobody's been vetting anybody. You know, I think that they're going to come in and they're going to do what they want to do.
When Joe Biden says he's spending money to support the border, then you support that?
I don't trust Joe Biden as far as I could throw him. He isn't taking anything except what he puts in his pocket.
What would you say is the cause of the Civil War?
The Civil War? What caused the Civil War? They mostly, I'm thinking of the first war when we became Americans.
Donald Trump said last week that immigrants are spoiling the blood of the country. Do you agree with that?
When you have an influx like this, there's got to be big time trouble. These people don't always think like we do. And if they're bringing in bad drugs and stuff, I'm scared for our young'uns.
I just think if we instituted that new rule, then maybe 15 years from now, teenage boys in my hometown might read some on the internet about how transgender people aren't fit to serve this country or whatever and say to themselves, I don't know, that sounds like some papa to me.
Exactly. Advocating for positions like this now to change the future for the better is why we do this in the first place and why Trae's work is so important. Many libs and others on the left often forget that you can find true progressives and leftists anywhere in the country. And we should never write someone off because of their accent or where they live and grew up.
Like there's an ancient Greek proverb that goes, society grows great when old men plant seeds for trees whose shade they shall never sit in. Right? But in America, it's more like society grows most profitable when old men invest in fossil fuels ventures whose fumes they shall never choke on. I don't know what the answer is. Some people say term limits, others say that's undemocratic. Then again, democracy is how we end up, and we do this to ourselves. We vote these people in. You know, myself, I right now am preparing to vote for a papaw for president. Now, granted, it's largely because the only alternative is an evil cartoon papaw, but still. But that's kind of the whole thing, though, right? Like, papaws are not a monolith. Their brains are not created equal.
Trae's spot on again here. The real problem with our geriatric politics isn't them being old, but rather having such inflated egos that they don't know when to give up power to the new generation. in turn holding up progress for the majority of us voters who want it. But to the Bidens, McConnells, Grassleys of the world, etc., it's all about the power and not what's best for the future.
Is it a test? Like you get past a certain age, you want to maintain your puppet master power privileges, you got to pass a basic competency test, right? That might work as long as they make it harder than that man, camera, van, corn dog they had Trump do a few years ago. Yeah, that might be it. I don't know. What I do know is something needs to change because, generally speaking, it would be preferable if the inner machinations of a global superpower did not require necromancy.
We would prefer that too. Make sure to check out Trae's work in the description box below and see him live on tour when he comes to a town near you. In addition, if there are any stories we missed, if there are any that you would like to submit, get at me and follow me on Twitter, Instagram, TikTok. DMs are open. Look forward to all of y'all's submissions. And most important, we are doing a membership drive. If you would like to help contribute to the network, to the show, where our content is 100% free for all of you to take in, please support us and go to tyt.com/join.